Let's not waste any time. Live from a hotel that he's spending $104 a night at, Rob Parker, FS1 Instigator, is joining me with a new sports coat that probably cost him 38 cents. How are you?
Close. I'm doing great, Colin. It cost $48 in Detroit.
So, look at you. All right, so I watched the NBA last night. Aesthetically, optically, I thought it looked good. Didn't it, Rob?
It did. It was like a TV show. That's what these sports have turned into, right? Where like they're overproduced because you have to make up for not having the crowd. But I agree. I thought it was a very good look by the NBA.
Should Zion have played at the end of the game?
I think he should have for this reason, Colin. I think last night's loss cost him the playoffs. How are you going to be 4.5 games out with 8 to play and you lose the first game? Seriously, it puts you in a bad spot. You're trying to overtake 2 other teams, and now the margin for error is slim to none. I think they lost the spot in the playoffs last night.
I don't think that's a bad argument. You're probably right. Mathematically, it's a tough spot. Now, you've been very critical of LeBron. He was unbelievable last night. Assists, defense. Can you acknowledge it was a huge Laker win last night?
No, I can't. And I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. They won the game, but Colin, I would be very, very worried if I was a Laker fan hoping that they're going to get past the Clippers to win a championship. The Clippers, without Lou Will, right? They didn't have
Montrezl
Harrell as well. And the Lakers, like by the skin of their teeth, are able to win this game where they're missing 2 big pieces. I mean, seriously, the Clippers had a chance to win the game, and they had more turnovers than a bakery. Add it all up, Colin. I mean, they gave away the basketball. They didn't have 2 big pieces, and they fell into a big hole to start the game, and they still had a chance to win. I think the Clippers have to feel good. I know it's not about some feeling good about losses, but they were right where they needed to be, and they'll have more firepower. That team is so deep, so I'm not going to buy into this idea that the Lakers showed you that they're going to win the NBA championship last night.
Well, yeah, Clippers are not playing for home court advantage, so we know that. They want 2 things. They want to be healthy. They don't want any injuries. That's really it. And they want to have some chemistry, rotational stuff solved. Let me ask you about Anthony Davis. So this has been my take on Anthony Davis forever, and it goes against most NBA insiders. I think he's talented, but he's not a leader. He's got no dog late in games. This year, he shot 53% first 3 quarters and 40% in the fourth. And I think this is who he is. I think he's talented, but I don't think he's a true number 1. Like LeBron, Michael, Magic, Bird. I don't. I just see him as a wildly talented guy. Last night, he disappears again in the fourth. Do you trust him in a big spot in the playoffs?
Absolutely not. I think, Colin, you had just about as many points as he had in the fourth quarter, and you weren't even in the game. I mean, he had 2 points. You can't play that well in the first 3 quarters and then wilt and disappear when it matters. This year, he has a total of 10 fourth quarter points against the Clippers?
Yeah.
10? It makes no sense. That has something to do with him. I totally agree. He's a talented guy, but there's something extra that you have to have in order to win big games. Maybe this is why the Pelicans were never able to really, except for that one time where they got out of the first round, they weren't able to make any runs. And he's going to be the reason why the Lakers win or not. Not LeBron. We know what to expect from LeBron. If AD is AOL, missing in action, MIA, put it that way, in the fourth quarter, then the Lakers aren't going to win anything.
So, little football news. Shady McCoy's like, you know what? I want to play with Tom Brady. Gronk was retired. I want to play with Tom Brady. I think it's time to acknowledge the magic potion of Tom Brady. People now, nice rotational players, all play for less than Tampa and Tom Brady. Are you getting nervous they're going to be better than people project?
No. What is this, old timers day? Was Larry Zonka not available, Colin? I mean, come on with this, Shady McCoy. I don't want to say that the Tampa Bay Bucks are old, but I heard they're moving their practice facility to the cemetery. I mean, you keep digging up people and bringing them to come play. I'm telling you, you know what's going to happen, Colin? You ready? And I'm not wishing this on anybody. Injuries when guys haven't played and then they try to get back. Gronk, Shady McCoy, Tom Brady is 43 going on 90. You got an old bunch of guys there, and watch. Those guys will wind up getting hurt. I keep telling you, Tampa Bay is going to be the Browns of last year. Everybody was on the bandwagon. The Browns went from 1,000,000 to 14-1 to get to the Super Bowl when they traded for OBJ. And what happened? They didn't make the playoffs. Colin, I'll bet you 20 wings in a Diet Coke right now that the Bucks will not, NOT, make the playoffs. You want to take me up on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
I feel strongly about that. I think they're offensively gifted, and I think a lot of the teams at the top of the NFC have holes. I think Green Bay is going to regress. Seattle's got bad lines. Carson Wentz struggles to stay healthy, and the Niners are in a great division. I think they're going to get home field advantage in the playoffs potentially.
I don't think so. I'm going to take in that division, I'm going to take New Orleans, and I'm going to take Atlanta to bounce back and make the playoffs. And it'll be 13 years in a row that the Bucks will have not made the playoffs, even with Tom Brady. So there's your baker's dozen of not making it.
By the way, college football, the SEC said yesterday, we're just going to do conference games. They remind me of the English Premier League in soccer, where they're so insulated. They're such a revenue monster. They don't need anybody else, and they don't care about anybody else. It doesn't bother me at all. I wouldn't have a problem if college football became conference only scheduling. Seriously, the games I look forward to are Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. I don't care about these out of conference games. What do you make of the SEC saying, hey, just us, don't care about any other games?
No, I get that. And this is all different. We're in uncharted waters and people are trying to make do. Colin, my only issue is asking these kids to play when the kids can't come to campus, the regular student body. That's my only argument. If the kids aren't in classes and can't come to campus, no way should you ask college football players who aren't getting paid to do that. I understand the pros. These are guys, this is their living, and this is what they have to do. But these college kids don't have to do it. That's my only argument for this. How
much, summer in New York, rooms can be very expensive. How much did you pay for your room?
So normally a room like this might be $350, $399. I paid $107 a night. I'm staying on 28th and 6th Avenue. Times Square is a stone's throw away. I've been doing a little shopping. There's no taxes on clothes in New York, so it's a good trip. Look at him. He is America's most frugal sportscaster. How much your jacket cost? $48, this one. This is Ralph Lauren. Can you see? Very nice. It's very nice. Joy, what do you think? It's very nice.
You look great, Rob.
You look you're very professional, Rob. He's a columnist for the shadowleague.com, odd couple with
Deadspin.
Yes.
Remember, I moved to Deadspin.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. All right. It's hard to keep track of your career. You just got so many gigs. Good seeing you, buddy.
I've only had 35 jobs in my 35 years, Colin.
Good seeing you.